Hi, we're Lee and Mandy, and we're the Frugal Travellers.
Now that we've reached 5,000 subscribers, we thought this was a great time to make a new About Us video to let you know who we are and exactly what we're all about. So this, first of all, is going to be the About Us section.
Mandy?
Okay, I'll go first. My name's Mandy. I was born and bred in New Zealand. I left when I was 19. I left the farm, went to the big bright lights of Sydney, lived in Australia for a few years, then went travelling like Thailand, parts of Asia, and then I ended up in Nepal in 1996.
And I am Lee from the UK. I started travelling in the early 90s, a little bit like Mandy, went over to Morocco first, so it was amazing, got bitten by the travel bug, wanted to see more, went to South America for 6 months and travelled alone there, and then I headed off to India and Nepal where I met Mandy.
It was so lovely. We were trekking in the Himalayas. I swear we met on Valentine's Day and we first kissed on Leap Year's Day, 1996.
We were travelling in a group. You meet someone you like them, you kind of walk and talk, and one thing leads to another. It was wonderful, wasn't it?
It was so romantic.
Full moon, the snow-capped mountains of the Himalayas. Like, you couldn't write a romance novel better, could you?
No,
really?
I don't think it was perfect. But the really cool thing is normally travel romances, they sort of like die a death. But I was actually on my way to the UK to stay with a friend in the West Midlands who lived like 20 miles from Lee.
It all worked out, didn't it? We went through India together for 6 weeks, and that was quite intense. Go travelling with them in somewhere pretty hardcore, where you sort of you learn each other's sort of pros and cons quite quickly, don't you?
Okay, and we both had Jardia as well, so let's face it. It was quite a an interesting, first few months, which was cool. But it's like we're condensing this.
2000, I got a residence visa for New Zealand and went over and lived in New Zealand for a while, long enough to become a New Zealand citizen.
Went to the UK, I became a UK citizen after like 3 years.
Yeah, travelled around a bit. We did a lot of backpacking in the early days. This is before the internet. Things have changed a lot in the world now, but
so much.
We were travelling in a different style back then. We lived in Australia for a few years, went off travelling for another couple of years, and
that was cool. That was like we went to South America, and then we went on a 40-week truck trip around Africa. And
then the Balkans, back to Australia, and stayed there for the longest time we've ever lived anywhere, 5.5 years that time, because we were both getting Australian citizenship. Living
and working in Perth, which is wonderful.
Yeah, and living a frugal lifestyle. And this is coming to Frugal Travellers now. This is the way we've always lived. Is we love travelling. It's our passion. That's what we've always wanted to do, and we're quite happy to live simply in order to achieve our goals. That's how we lived in Australia, and it gave us enough money behind us to be able to travel for a long period of time.
Yeah, because basically for 5.5 years we lived in shared accommodation. We never had our own flat. We'd cycle to the supermarket, we went to the library.
Get the best deals in restaurants for things like that. And we applied that kind of lifestyle to travelling as well. So since then.
It's sort of like an intrinsic part of our personalities, of our natures. Like we find it really difficult to actually spend money. Like our friends and family would always call us tight, or they'd call us stingy, or these other like adjectives you get. And then they'd suddenly be like, hang on a sec, how come you guys have retired in
your mid-40s,
August 2017,
and are travelling the world.
And it's like, well, it's because we don't spend any money. Like, we'd always try to save over half of what we earn.
Our sort of average budget is $20 US a day each in order to get around. If we stick to that kind of budget, we can travel indefinitely to all the places we want to go and achieve all our travel goals. We started doing YouTube to show people how we did it. If you want to travel the world and you're not a millionaire, but you want to see all of these places, it is possible.
The concept of Frugal Travellers actually started on the 2nd of April 2018, because we've been writing like really long Facebook posts to our friends and family. A couple of people, our friends, actually suggested that we start a blog. So we did start a blog, and it's frugaltravellers.com, but like neither of us are techies, and it's like you're setting up your own website. We've got a brilliant developer now who helps us. I've put his details in like the description below. So he's fantastic. But Lee was the one who'd do all the work, and we didn't get much feedback from people, you know what I mean? It was sort of like writing into a vacuum, running into a void.
So we started making videos, and we realised we really enjoyed that. The editing process isn't always easy, but
especially not with the laptops we use. Like, Lee's got this Acer and the screen broke, and my
struggling through there.
Asus is like 6 years old now, I think, and it's so heavy. And photography equipment, I was using a Motorola G4 Plus. In the beginning, the quality's not great.
Adapted to tech, learning how to do things tech-wise. And
yeah, so we are developing and progressing, and our equipment's getting better. We've got like a GoPro 9 and, you know what I mean, and Samsung S8. So the main thing is the amazing places we go to.
We've been to so many places, so we'd like to show you a little glimpse of some of the 100-odd countries that we've been to over the last 30 years.
Okay, bye-bye.
We intend to go to many more. In fact, who knows, maybe we'll be able to get all around the world in the next 30 years and see them all. But for now, we're enjoying traveling from place to place and showing it to you. Rewind to Australia.
Okay, we'll rewind.
Yeah.
So we left Australia in August 2017. Retired, that was it, gave up work. We went to Malaysia and Oman, flying on our way back to the
Nepal
UK.
for a couple of months.
Sorry, Nepal. The first time we'd been back to Nepal.
For 21 years.
And it changed
that
so
was
much.
incredible. Looked up a few people from all that time ago.
So we got to the UK, we were there to see friends and family, and then
January 2018, we started our grand tour of the Eurasian continent, didn't we? We flew to Norway, went up the coast on this incredible cruise with Hurtigruten and up into the Arctic Circle, saw the Northern Light.
And then from there we flew to Finland, spent a few days in Helsinki, and then we got a bus to St. Petersburg.
To Russia, and we had a 30-day visa for Russia, got the Trans-Siberian, all the way across Russia to Vladivostok.
Yeah, 6 stops in total.
In the dead of winter. That was amazing.
Magnificent.
From there, we had to fly on to South Korea and Hong Kong, didn't we?
So we spent some time there, and then we crossed from Macau into China.
Yeah. And
having just started the blog, like in Hong Kong.
Yeah, that was right, So we were writing a few things, but we didn't video a lot, did we? But as we started to more and more as we came through China, so look out for some of our China videos. We travelled overland through China by train mainly, and then bus in the last part through Xinjiang, and then carried on to Central Asia. Spent about 5 or 6 months
in the stands.
Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Pamir Highway. That was amazing. Back into Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and across Turkmenistan to Iran.
Yeah, which was really cool. Then in Iran, we flew back to Australia for a wedding, and went to New Zealand and saw a family.
Flew back to the region. We wanted to continue the overland journey all the way across Eurasia. So we flew to Greece for a bit because that was the cheapest flight we could find. It was like $230 for a Scoot flight. April 2019, we flew from Sydney to Athens. That was the last flight we've taken, almost 3 years ago.
15 countries.
Well. And then went to Santorini. Well, we flew from there to Tbilisi, didn't we, to go back to the region, to the Caucasus, and spent about 5 months through Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan. Amazing countries to travel in. The mountains, the wine, the people, the food. It's got it all. And then coming overland, we came across Turkey. We went down to Iraqi Kurdistan, which was another incredible place to visit.
The friendliest and kindest people we've ever met. In Iraqi Kurdistan.
And we came across Turkey to Bulgaria, and then started the Eastern European section through Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova.
Quite a lot of time in Romania because I had new teeth fitted, like my beautiful front teeth in Bucharest.
We recommend Romania for dental treatment.
But the
quality as well.
It's amazing.
Pop back to the UK for a bit to visit family.
And we discovered that at the time FlixBus was doing something called an Interflix Pass, 5 journeys for €99. And so Lee wasn't that keen in the beginning, and I sort of like talked him into it because, to be perfectly honest, I don't actually like flying. I'm a bit afraid of flying. They're like, let's get the bus, this would be brilliant. And so it was, I think, 56 hours on one bus from Bucharest all the way to London. So it was pretty epic.
Video up there, you can have a look at that one. And then after that, we came all the way back to Budapest, didn't we? To Hungary, to use up the rest of our FlixBus vouchers, and carried on to Slovakia, Poland, Ukraine.
That was pretty cool.
Quite an epic overland adventure. And we ended up back in Poland in March 2020, just when things stopped happening in the world, and there was the coronavirus lockdown in Krakow for 4 months.
We actually stopped stopped blogging so much and we went more into vlogging and did like the lockdown videos for Krakow. Gabriel Traveller featured us in one of his videos, which was pretty cool.
Give us a bit of a boost. And then we went up into the Baltic region to Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia through the summer of 2020 when things were a little bit easier. Popped back to the UK towards the end of summer to visit family and then got on a bus all the way from London to Porto in Portugal a year and 3 months ago, and we've been in Portugal ever since. So that's why a lot of people that have found us have probably only seen our Portugal videos. We've loved Portugal. It's been very kind to us and we've spent a fantastic time here.
Definitely.
Enjoying this country.
Yeah, we're not going to be here forever. We're hoping later on this year be able to see a bit more of Europe again. And I really want to go back to Australia and New Zealand and see my family. You know, it's been too long now.
Yeah, and then after that we intend to head to South America, Central America, the Caribbean, the Americas, and see all the places that we haven't managed to see there yet. So a lot more interesting countries to come. So please stick around and watch our adventures.
And we are going to set up a Q&A at some stage soon, something out on a community post.
If you've got any questions to ask, ask in that, or if you're watching this afterwards, please put a comment down below and we'll answer any questions that you have about budget travel, about our life, whatever.
So one thing I would like to stress is that we are budget travelers who are learning how to make videos. So, you know, we're not polished, we're not professional, we're sort of with our learning as we go. And we've got a couple of mottos: finding joy in simple things and reality, not glamour. Because with us, you will always see reality, you know.
It might be the basic backbones of travel, and we show you not always the pretty things, but just what goes on behind the scenes, I suppose.
And we don't always go to museums.
What we want to do is give good information on about how to get from A to B for a good price, how to find the cheapest accommodation, how to find the best value meals in town, and show you how easy it is to travel independently, not have to rely on a tour in order to get from A to B.
So where the free toilets are. I don't know about you, but
that's really
I really don't like paying for toilets. Like in New Zealand you don't, so it's like it's one of those things. But we really hope you enjoyed this video.
I hope it's kind of revealed us to you a little bit, and please ask us if you've got any more questions.
Because we always love to hear from you. We love to hear feedback, comments.
So please give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We hope you do, and you can join us on our journey. So Mandy, what's your #1 tip for someone who wants to be a frugal traveller?
Always look at prices. Always, 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 always. We know so many people who've gone into restaurants, ordered off the menu, and then been like shocked at how much it's cost. Or they've gone to the market and they've bought something and they've got the tourist price. So whatever you do, don't buy anything until you actually see how much it's going to cost. So Lee, what's your #1 tip for potential frugal travellers?
I think when you asked me that before, I said, don't keep your expectations too high. And I mean, you know, if you're staying in accommodation, don't expect the Ritz. If you're going to get a place for a couple of dollars a night, it might be a bit rough around the edges. As long as the door locks, you're safe, you've got a bed to sleep in at night, you're happy. Keep your expectations low. Same with food, same with places you go into, you know, just enjoy yourself. Find pleasure in simple things. That is the most important thing.
Bye for now.
Bye.